What's up guys, my name is Kai, I am the Nerd of Strength, and today we're going to talk about the first ever Shaw Classic. We're in the home stretch of 2020, and with only 3 weeks left of this miserable year, we have one more strongman show to actually look forward to. And this time we can actually watch it live. Well, semi-live, but we'll get to that a bit later. This competition is of course named after the man himself, the legend Brian Shaw, Mr. 4-time World's Strongest Man. He's putting on this competition with the money out of his own pocket, and he's putting this on for his fellow strongman competitors because, just like the rest of us, they've also had kind of a crappy year this year. With a lot of competitions being canceled this year, there was no room to make prize money or have good sponsorship deals this year. So it's really great that Brian is putting this on. And as he has stated many times before, if he wins, he's not going to take any of the prize money. Now, while Brian Shaw is competing, he has invited 9 great competitors to also take part in this event, all of which just competed at the 2020 World's Strongest Man a few weeks ago. So I think everybody's on an even playing field at the moment with no competitions besides this one taking place. And while we've had a lot of ups and downs and injuries and pullouts, we still have 9 worthy competitors. And those guys are Adam Bishop, Maxime Boudreau, J.F. Caron, Kevin Ferris, Terry Hollins, Trey Mitchell III, Alexei Novikov, Jerry Pritchett, and Luke Stoltman. And we have 2 awesome days of competition, both being at Brian Shaw's personal home gyms, one at his traditional home gym, and the second day taking place at his awesome new mountain gym. And the events are as followed. We have a max log, we have the super yoke, we have the farmer's walk, we have the max Hummer tire deadlift, then the circus dumbbell for reps, and finally the Atlas stones. I believe the first 3 events will of course take place on the first day, which is today, December the 11th, and the last 3 will take place on Saturday, December 12th. Well, once again, of course, Brian is competing in this event. I don't necessarily believe that all these events were handpicked for him. Of course, he did say he had a panel of judges and talked it over with the other athletes about what events should be included. So I'm going to break down the events and who I think is going to win each event, and then who I think will be in my top 3 overall. For our first event, we have the max log, which I'm looking forward to. While we did have a bunch of great log pressers unfortunately pull out, and I think log pressers are cursed for 2020, I think Maxime and Luke can definitely break the streak and give us an amazing battle. Do I think we're going to see a world record? Well, it depends. Again, both of these guys competed at Worlds last month, but neither unfortunately made the final. Maxime, of course, is the Canadian log lift record holder, and Luke, of course, is the British log lift record holder. And it's going to be a fantastic battle between the 2 of them. Maxime will definitely bring the intensity, and I think Luke can definitely put up some big numbers too, but in training he did look a bit beat up, so we'll see. I think Jerry can definitely also get some good points on this event. Again, same with Brian Shaw. Shaw didn't look too hot during the log ladder at Worlds, and he's also hasn't been someone who's necessarily pushed for the American log lift record, so I'm not sure how he'll do in this event. If somebody could tell me when the last time Brian Shaw contested in a max log event, tell me down in the comments below. Event number 2, we have the super yoke, which I believe is going to be an estimated of 500 kilos. Now this event is definitely great for Brian, but you know who else it's also good for? Terry Hollins. Yeah, he slimmed down in the past couple of years, but don't forget that Terry was always placing in the top 3 at Yokes during World's Strongest Man. And he can still move pretty quick with it, and recent Giant Live shows that he hasn't missed a beat. Same with Jerry during the Arnolds. I think is someone else who can give Brian a good run for his money, and maybe Alexei as well. Just remember back to World's Strongest Man 2019 where Alexei narrowly beat out Brian on the super yoke. Yes, it was a grinder, but he can also move with the weight. Now for the third event, we have the Farmer's Walk, and this one's definitely for the more athletic guys, Novikov, Fairs, and Boudreaux. Novikov, of course, is lightning fast, same with Kevin Ferris if you have access to the World's Strongest Man 2020 heats, which are now airing in the US. Kevin can move very well with farmers and has a very good grip. Same with Maxime. He, of course, has that Canadian grip, so you know he's going to be a beast at this event. Just remember back to the Arnold Santa Monica, and oh my God, I can't believe that this was this year. Oh man, it's been a long year. Anyway, moving on from my existential dread of this year not being over with, we go on to day 2, and the fourth event is going to be the Max Hummer Tire Deadlift. And I'm so happy that Brian decided to bring this event back. Frankly, I'm tired of seeing the elephant bar deadlift at the Arnold's, and I'm glad that Brian is dusting off his replica Hummer Tire Deadlift so we can get that event back into play. I think it's a more spectacular event to watch versus the elephant bar, and I was excited to see Brian and Zydrunas battle out on this event, but of course he had to pull out due to a knee injury. With that being said, this is definitely going to be a battle between Brian, Jerry, and JF. Brian and Jerry, of course, are two guys who have done very well during the Hummer Tire Deadlift, and I believe JF has also competed at the Arnold's during the Hummer Tire Deadlift. If he hasn't, please correct me in the comments. I also think Adam Bishop can do very well on the Hummer Tire Deadlift. Again, the flex is a bit different, but if you look at his setup for the 18-inch deadlift, I think he'll be prepared for the flex. And he's a really good deadlifter as well. Now, why am I not including Novikov in my placings for the Max Hummer Tire Deadlift? Well, yes, he did pull a world record on the 18-inch deadlift, but the Hummer Tire Deadlift bar has a different flex, and I believe it's a different height as well. During the 2020 Arnold Classic, yes, he was beat up from doing a lot of competition, but he didn't really perform well on that bar. Same with 2019, so I think the flex in the bar might throw him off. And I'm not sure if suits are allowed in this event. I know historically Brian has been against deadlift suits, so I'm not sure if he's allowing it. I didn't see any notes on it on Barbend or anywhere else, but I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow. Moving on to the fifth event, the Circus Dumbbell for reps. This one is going to be the rematch of the year, Brian versus Alexi. I just think back to my favorite moment from Worlds 2019 was the battle of the two during Heat 5. I'll definitely be excited to see that, and Alexi's going to do very well on that. That's definitely Alexi's event. See the Wuss record breakers from earlier this year if you need more proof. Maxime will also do well in this event, same as Brian. Maxime is great overhead. He does great on not only log, but also Circus Dumbbell. Surprisingly, I wasn't too convinced about Luke's Circus Dumbbell during his final training session that they posted earlier today, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. But again, Alexi, Maxime, and Brian are the three to look out for during this event. And finally, we have the final event, the Atlas Stones. And this will be Trey's time to shine. I'm not overlooking him necessarily, but this will definitely be his event. Hopefully, we'll get to see Brian versus Trey on the Atlas Stones. The dream fantasy booking of Worlds 19 of what if Brian and Trey had to go into the Last Man Standing Atlas Stones. Two fantastic stone lifters. Same with Bish and Luke. I think will come in a good third and fourth behind the two. One guy you might overlook on the stones is Maxime. During the Canadian record breakers, he did very well on the Atlas Stones. And traditionally in the Circuit Holmesfort, which is the Canadian strongman circuit, they usually use very heavy stones. So I think he'll be prepared for this. I mean, after all, he did just face off against the best stone lifter in the world at Worlds not too long ago and only lost out narrowly. So I think he'll be somebody to watch. Now, the only other thing I want to bring to mind before I do my final rundown of my top three is that, again, this comp will take place over the span of 2 days. First at Brian's original home gym and then at his mountain gym. Now, Colorado altitude is very different from a lot of places where these guys are coming from. He, of course, said he's providing them oxygen. They've been at Shaw's house for a couple of days now to hopefully get acclimated, but it might still affect some of the guys. We'll have to wait and find out. Then again, Novikov's a freak beast, and apparently nothing can stop him, so we'll see what happens. With that out of the way, though, let me tell you who I think will be the top 3. I think Novikov's actually going to take this, being consistent in all the events, not necessarily placing out of the top 4 on each event. And then I think Jerry will be a good second place. I would have actually picked Jerry to win this competition, but his Atlas Stones aren't necessarily the best, in my opinion, and he will drop some points in that final event. But everything else is pretty good for him. And also, this is a year where Jerry's pretty fresh, so I have faith that he's going to do very well and kick a lot of ass during this competition. And finally, third, I think will be Brian. I'm just kind of sick of people saying Brian is done when Brian can still move with the best of them. Do I think he'll win his own comp? Not necessarily, but I still think he'll do very well. Again, this is his home turf. He is acclimated to the elevation. And 3 out of the 6 events are very well suited in Brian's favor. So, again, he can do very well here and pick up a lot of points. The only thing that's holding Brian back at this point in time is his age and his speed. He's going to lose points on the moving events. That's just how it is. That's just a fact. An event like the Farmer's Walk, I could see him dropping down to maybe 4th or 5th, depending. There's a lot of athletic, fast guys in this comp who can narrowly beat him by a couple of milliseconds. And those will be very important. So, once again, my top 3 are Novikov in 1st, Jerry Pritchett in 2nd, and Brian Shaw in 3rd. The Shaw Classic takes place December 11th and the 12th, which is the Friday and the Saturday. However, there is a stream delay. According to Brian and his wife, the mountain gym just doesn't have the best Wi-Fi setup, so it will be on a delay by 1 day. So we won't get to see the live stream until the next day, which they said will be a fully produced and edited live stream for us to watch on Saturday and Sunday. Now, where can you watch the Shaw Classic? It won't be on YouTube. It won't be on TV. It will be exclusively on Brian Shaw's website. And you can sign up at club.shawstrength.com and pay the $8.99 to get a month's worth of exclusive content, which of course includes the contest. Now, Brian has made it explicitly clear from the beginning that you could sign up, watch the contest, and then cancel, which of course people are going to do, but just know that it is a automatic monthly payment, so definitely if you want to cancel after the contest, don't forget to do that. Write in your phone, do whatever you have to do to cancel it. And if you can't watch it live, even don't worry, because he said if you sign up, the video will still be there for you to watch days later, so there's no worry. But again, you can only watch it exclusively on the Shaw Elite Club's website. And frankly, I have no problem paying $9 to watch the contest. Brian has also stated that the money from people signing up for the Shaw Elite Club is going into the prize pool of the Shaw Classic. Originally, he put up $25,000 of his own money, and he said yesterday that the prize pool has now been raised to $35,000. And that's insane. Getting $10,000 in extra money for a strongman show shows that there is fan support there, and that's great. I'm just saying a lot of people didn't support the World's Strongest Man $2 Facebook live stream, but I'm glad people are putting their money where their mouth is now and supporting a show like this. This shows that there is fan support and that we want more things like this. So, good on you, strongman community. Overall, I think this is a great thing that Brian's doing. It's giving not only the fans something to look forward to, but also the athletes during these crappy times. But it's also a great little early Christmas present to all the strongman fans. So with that, guys, once again, I'm Kai. I'm the Nerd of Strength. Thank you all for watching this video. If you like what I do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And have a happy holidays.